Have a nice day, students. Today we are going to continue talking about the second part of unit number 6 from your North Star book, which is related with the main topic was together alone, and the second one is related to the grammar parts, which are combined with the special verb wish. These expressions are going to have some structures depending of what we want to talk in the sentence. Some of them are unreal, the other ones are going to be considered as regrets. So I want you to please pay close attention to the rest of the presentation. And this next diapositive, we have the image that we have before in the previous video. You see that we have a family here, they are talking, they have a meal, but sometimes we prefer, I include myself, to watch whatever is happening in the website, social websites, and we really do not interchange a lot of words or expressions, or we don't talk actually with our members or family, because as I said, we prefer to see what's going on in these special websites. There is now widespread concerns about the amount of time children spend staring at screens, with many people worried about the negative impacts mobile devices might have on health and well-being. Concerns have also been raised about the influence of technological change on relationships and face-to-face interactions. There is a professor of the social studies of science came up with the famous term "alone together," which is also the name of her book, Alone Together, captures the idea of spending time on devices to neglect of interacting with those people who are physically nearby. Many people believe that technological changes have had a detrimental impact on the time family members spend together with Alone Together, time colonizing family life, yet to date, very few studies have actually been done in this area. A new research looks to change this by providing the first real insight into technology has impacted the ways families spend their time in the UK. To do this, we analyze time data collected by parents and children aged 8 to 16 years old in 2000 and again 2015 to nowadays 2020. Big period that has witnessed rapid technological changes. We have had this impact everywhere, especially nowadays, as I have referred in the first video about the situation that we are having through this pandemic disease. We have to be close and locked inside our homes, and the only one way to communicate with others that are not part of our family is only by communicating them with our cell phones or tablets or computers as well. But that's why we have like the missing of the control of how we interact with our members of family, guys. And here we have the full grammar structures that we are going to study today. We have one of the kind, and then we have some examples next to it. I promise to you to read it now, but I'm going to give you an example for each in the next slides. So please, let's read with me. It says use the verb wish when you want to express unreality, a desire for reality to be different, or regrets that was not different. The verb forms and structures used in the clause after wish can express future, present, or past situations. The situations we have here, we have the present and future wish, the present with wish with to be, the past wish, and we also have the past wish with could and have. So let's read the first one. It says for present and future we use this structure, which is wish is followed by would, or you can use could. The example says a friend of mine wishes she could get rid of her cell phone, but she can't because she is totally hooked on texting. Now, I wish she'd turned her phone off. The constant texting is driving me crazy. Present wish. We use wish plus past form of the verb. In this case, if we want to talk in the present, of course in this one we have to use a verb in the past next to wish. This is the structure. So let's read it. The problem is out of control. I just wish people didn't feel compelled to respond to text so quickly. What I have investigated about this structure is that we always have to use word with all pronouns, all persons, in a formal way. I have investigated as well that some people use was. For example, they say, I wish I was, or I wish he was, etc. But it is completely informal. Some people use this, but of course, it's not going to be correct. So we want to speak professionally using this structure. So we have the example over here, and it says, in a way, I wish texting weren't so cheap because then people wouldn't use it so much. You got it. If it weren't expensive, we wouldn't rely on it as much. As I said, we have to use were most of the times. It is permitted to be was, but it is considered like informal or inappropriate. The other part is past with wish. And here we have that for this structure, if you want to talk that you really are like kind of regret of something, we use the combination of wish and the past perfect, which is made with the auxiliary verb had and a past participle verb. As I said, I am going to give you more examples later on, but let's read. It says social media sites have their pluses, but I wish they hadn't become so popular. They can be dangerous. The other example says, don't be ridiculous. I bet you just wish you'd predicted the trend and started your own Facebook. The other one says, yeah, I guess so. But more than that, I just wish I hadn't been so careless and rebelled so much on my Facebook page didn't get the job I had applied for. As you can see here, we're using the past participle form of the verb, and the auxiliary is, of course, had. That combination is called past perfect. In this case, we use it for referring everything that we are regret, we miss something, and we are lamenting something not to happen. And the last one is the combination of could have. They are giving us one example here which represents a small answer, but I am going to give you one example how it's done in a full sentence. So the combination, as I said, is wish plus could have and a past participle form of the verb. We have, sorry to hear that. Couldn't you convince the manager that the issue was important? No, I wish I could have, but the guy wouldn't listen. As you can see, guys, they are including this in a small answer, and also it has like the rest of the sentence as a complement. But as I said, I am going to give you more examples in the next slides. We have the special verb, wish. I would like to talk more about this verb. English speakers use wish to show that they want a situation to be different. The verb after wish is one tense back. So that if you are wishing for a different present situation, the tense that follows wish is past simple or past continuous, as I have mentioned before. If you're wishing that a past situation was different, the tense that comes after wish is past perfect, as the one that we have seen in the last diapositive. You can also use wish with modal verbs in English, and that's why it makes it special, because guys, we have to use this only to express that you were like really having or deciding something that is not possible at the moment. It could be in the future, and sometimes with the combination, as I said, you express regrets, something you lament. In here we have the examples that I was mentioning to you guys, is the present and future with the verb wish. The structure is easy. We have seen it before. Wish plus wouldn't plus could plus verb in simple form. In this one, we have to use verb in simple form since we are using modals. And remember, no modals are going to be used with past verbs or future verbs or ings. Always use the verb in simple form. That's BSF is standing for. Sorry. The examples we have: I wish he could help me tomorrow. And that is going to talk about future. If we don't want to mention tomorrow, we just eliminate the adverb tomorrow. We can use it as in present. You can say, I wish he could help me. And you can talk about the present. So it's depending on the adverb you use here in the sentence. That's how you guys are going to make the people understand the tense of the sentence. The next one is, she wishes they would bring her furniture earlier next Monday. Here again we are using would, and the situation changed because in the first I used could, now I use would, but the main verb is still in the present form. We have the present with wish. In this case, this present, we use the past form of the verb. In this one, we can use only for present. Now for future, we use only the verb in the past, followed by I in the second sentence, or the subject that you want to use. The example I have is, I wish I worked less. I feel much more tired day after day. Pay attention because it say, I wish I worked less. Yes, and we use the second verb after wish in the past tense. In the next one, we have the present with the verb to be. We use wish again, and as I said before, we always have to use were to talk formally. The example here we have, he wishes he were the best soccer player in the school. In this example, I'm using were, guys, again, for all persons as I have mentioned. In the next one, we have another example with the past form. I was telling you guys that you have to use the past perfect combination had plus the verb in past participle. You can check the structure again, and we have the example here. I'm going so fast because I have only 15 minutes to do this. And we have, I wish I had listened to your recommendation so I wouldn't have had this big issue. So the combination again is had and the verb in past participle. The other positive comes in with the last one. We have the past with wish, with could have. We can represent the past using the moral auxiliary verb and have and a past participle too. So let's check the example here. And the structure, of course, as I was telling you, and the example that I promised to give you is this. I wish I could have been there. And it means that you are like lamenting that you were in the place that you really wanted to be and you were not able to. So we represent the past also with this nice structure, which is could and have and a past participle verb. Of course, being is changeable. You can use any other that you want. And I think this is all for today, guys. Of course, you have to write to me whenever you have questions. I try to answer as fast as I can, sorry. And the homework is going to be described much more in your learning guide. There I am going to give you the distribution of points and how much are you going to work. So you have my own platform, my English lab exercises, the audiobook exercises, grammar usage in emails, messages, and the task will be detailed at the learning guide 4. So this is about for today, guys. I really appreciate your time. I'm sorry about the background sound that you hear, but I'm doing this during the day, and you know, I have neighbors, and maybe you have had this problem before in your house whenever I ask you to make an audio or something like that. But I apologize about this. I hope you guys have understood everything I tried to say to you. And that's it. Have a nice day, and thanks again for watching these structures. Thank you.